Hey guys, so I wanted to reflect on my growth journey and what I'm learning about myself and recognizing the freedom that I'm able to tap into and experience the more that I give myself love and the more that I step into my power and embrace my ability to create the life that I really want. And how that impacts my relationships, and especially my relationship with Andrew, who I've already made a few videos before about how I felt like an entitled little bitch, basically. And I expected him to do things for me. And because I allowed myself to get swept up in feeling like he rescued me from a life of poverty and really playing small, that he was somehow responsible for my overall well-being. And since I've owned up to that and started making really big active steps to change that, I've recognized the freedom of really being my own boss, my own leader, my own compass, my own guide, and how that's affecting me in so many ways to be able to love Andrew more and to show it and express it more. And it's all because I'm able to love myself more. And I wanted to talk about that because I think it's relative to everyone. I think it's relative to all of you, because before I was great at, people pleasing and saying the right things and doing the right things, but I still had this energy of neediness, of needing Andrew to be there for me, of needing Andrew to love me, of needing Andrew to provide for me in many ways. And so I didn't have a lot of internal stabilizers. I didn't have a lot of internal stabilization to be able to maintain a loving, caring, nurturing energy when things did feel like they were out of whack or out of balance. Because then I would look to him every time I didn't feel good. And that would lead me to be passive aggressive or rude or flat out mean, and attacking him in ways because I didn't feel good. I'm sure you guys have heard before, hurt people hurt people. Well, this also applies when you're hurting yourself, by not loving yourself, by not believing in yourself. And because I didn't believe in myself and love myself fully, sure, I was selfish as fuck, but I didn't love myself in a way where I respected myself and I trusted in my ability to lead myself. And so anytime I felt like something was off, I would turn to him and take it out on him, expecting him to fix it. Also, our relationship began with a lot of, codependency, where I saw him treating himself this way, and so I started doing it as well. So, but it's not about blame or pointing fingers. Andrew and I, had a lot of flaws. We also had a lot of really great times throughout all of this. It's why we have stayed together. But there was a lot of parts where we were feeding each other's shadows and creating unhealthy dynamics while maintaining a loving, caring relationship. Because relationships are complex, as are people. And while sometimes I could be an asshole, other times I was loving and caring and nurturing. But what I want to talk about now is, because I have done some really deep, uncomfortable work on myself and really learned how to trust myself, to be willing to not be in a relationship with Andrew and to be open to that idea, is what's allowed me to recognize, hey, I've got to build my own internal stabilization. I've got to really learn how to care and do and depend and rely on myself if I don't feel great. I need to look at myself and explore what's really going on here. And because of that, I've created more strength and more stability and more independence in who I am as a man and individual. And with that, I have more capacity to just choose to be with Andrew, to love Andrew, and to not look to him to fix things when things aren't going well for me, or to blame him when things don't seem to be going well for me. Instead, I get to look at what's going on inside my mind, inside my heart, and explore it, and I'm finding solutions left and right. I'm able to get to where I want to be so much faster because I'm learning to depend on myself. And I know we're all so different. I know many of you are very financially independent and very secure in who you are as the caregiver of your life. That's not your, we all are on different journeys, but it's not the thing, it's the energy underneath it. And so many of you, I know, don't love yourselves fully, just like I didn't. You don't believe in yourselves fully. You don't trust in yourselves fully. And many of you are settling for being independent and not wanting to share that with someone, or not wanting to be willing to get hurt or open yourself up. But that's another piece of it. The more that you love yourself and the more that you trust yourself, the more open you allow yourself to take risks. The more open you allow yourself to be to explore relationships and explore possibilities, knowing that if it works out, that's great. And if it doesn't work out, that's great too, because you're fucking fabulous and you're in control of your life. Guys, we all play safe and we all play small in our own ways. We all do it very differently. Some of us have a lot of similar patterns with each other, but some of us, just like you guys, probably a lot of you can't relate to my journey in that, I wasn't financially secure or financially independent for a really long time. And even after Andrew and I created a really thriving organization and business, I still look to him to kind of make all the decisions and call all the shots. And it's so refreshing and empowering to just not need someone looking over my shoulder to tell me what to do, to not expect that or demand that. Because so much of my role here at Gay Man Thriving began where I was expecting Andrew to do a lot of the work for me, to tell me what to get on video and talk about, and to tell me how to show up, and I also looked to him as someone that I was supposed to be. But I can't be Andrew. I'll never be Andrew. I'm not supposed to be Andrew. I'm supposed to be me. And the more that I'm trusting in myself to explore that, the more delight and joy I'm finding. I had a lot of resentments towards Andrew because I felt like I was comparing myself to him, and I saw him as being ahead of me in a lot of ways. And so to feel better about who I was, I would pick at him, and I would find ways to undermine him and to, be passive aggressive to him and point out the places where I felt stronger and point out that he was weaker to feel better about who I was, rather than just owning all my own shit and standing on my own 2 feet and recognizing that we're two completely different people who are not supposed to be the same. And it's been so beautiful and refreshing and liberating to just know that I can just hit start on a Facebook Live without much more than just a thought and trust myself to speak. I have no idea what I'm going to say next. I have no idea how this video is going to end. I have no idea, really what's going to happen here. But I'm totally okay with that, and I'm delighted to be fully present and engaged and to share my journey and my truth as I explore my journey and my truth from a very empowered place. And that's something that I know, with lots of room for growth, that I can also help you explore. Because I suspect that there's a place in your life where you're holding yourself back. There's a place in your life where you're not trusting yourself fully, just as I have for the majority of my life. And this is for you to name and decide if it's something you want to continue settling for, if it's something that you want to continue experiencing. But if you're ready to stop playing small and ready to learn how to trust yourself, to be bold and to be authentic and to really look at the uncomfortable shit that you don't want to look at, there's a place for you at Gay Man Thriving to explore that. And I would love to be your guide. I'm learning how to step into a new way of being, a new energy, a new power, a new life. And hi, Kavita. Kavita's my coach, and she's helping me tremendously step out of a place of falling into old patterns and old ways of being and stepping into trusting in myself we were on a call yesterday and I felt so embarrassed because I didn't know what to say. And so I immediately fell back into old ways of being. But being in that space helps me recognize so rapidly where I've got room for growth. And instead of expecting someone to fix it for me, I get to be delighted and excited that this is the next piece for me to work on. My growth edge is no longer being a people pleaser or a cheerleader if I don't know what else to say. My strategy for life has been desperately needing to be liked. And I've carried that so much into my role here at Gay Man Thriving. In being a rah, rah, rah cheerleader, instead of allowing myself to speak more of the truth and willing to not be liked. Of course, I'm able to see things and I am bold and transparent, but this is where I'm growing and this is where I get excited about letting go of those needs. The need for Andrew to take care of me and provide for me, the need to be liked, the need to be popular, the need to be desired. And the more that I'm finding all of that within myself and loving myself and trusting myself and seeing the truth, just like the title of this video, the more that I'm able, the better lover I'm able to be. And that, guys, and everyone watching, that includes sexually. I'm able to be a more powerful lover, sexual lover to Andrew when I love myself more. I am able to get harder erections and I'm able to please him more sexually when I'm feeling more love and power and confidence within myself. When I don't need something from anybody else, I'm able to give more because I have a full cup. And I know so many of you, just like I have been running around with empty cups because you're trying to figure everything out and you're trying to be the person that you think you're supposed to be in this world. Well, that's not necessarily the case. You get to decide who you want to be based on what you want. And when you figure that out, and when you learn how to express that fully and authentically, boy, things get really fun and exciting. And I want you to experience the delight, the playfulness, the fun, the excitement and the power that I'm experiencing for the first time in my life as I step into my power, as I embrace what makes me the only version of me that will ever be in existence in this planet. And so that's what I wanted to share today. I feel complete and I love you all. Bye for now.